Hey there everyone, and welcome to this edition of TJ's Reef. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about this little piece of equipment right down here, the Neptune Trident, and why I think everybody should have either a Trident or some other type of automated testing system. But today, we're going to talk about the Trident. So we'll check in on the Reef and talk about the Trident and get everyone caught up to speed, so stay tuned. All right, everyone, welcome to this episode, and we are going to show you the setup, and I'll give you my thoughts on the Neptune Trident. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. That would be really appreciated. Thumbs up the video, too, while we get into the opening of the Trident. Not much really to discuss here. Inside, there is a little handy card, a box with your starter pack of reagents, and let's see what's next in the box here. Oh, your cables, your feed tube, and your drain tube, as well as calibration solution. Very important. We'll talk about that later. And finally, the Trident itself. And I'm just kind of opening the drawer up where the reagents go, see what it looked like, and now I will get on to setting it up. Now, at first, I was a little intimidated, but then I noticed that the entire process walks you through. I should say the app walks you through the entire process. Sorry. So what you do is you open the Apex app, and you tell it you've got a new Trident, and it will walk you through
Congratulations on your purchase of the
videos,
Neptune Systems Trident.
the entire way.
This setup task will walk you through the physical installation and configuration of the Trident.
So the first thing they do is kind of go over everything that was in the box and tell you what to expect during the process. And then we move on to the first piece that you're going to install, which is the sample line.
To get started with the Trident
Now, it is important that you install the black tube as the sample line, not the clear one, and you cannot modify the length of this sample tube. You cannot cut it, you can't lengthen it, and from what I've read at the Apex site, that is because the amount that it samples for each test is based off of the length of that line. So changing the length of that line will screw up how much water it samples out of your tank.
Clear waistline tubing.
The next thing you do is you install the drain line, and this is a very straightforward process. You just push it on the barb in the back and put it in a waste container.
Connect the one link.
Then you connect up the power directly to your Apex. I love that you don't have to find another outlet to do this. You just plug it into your Apex. My drain line, just so you know, I ran into like a used plastic container that used to contain food, and I just drilled a hole in the top, ran the tube in it, and now it's a waste container down on the ground, tucked out of view. Now, once you have the waste line set up and the sample line set up in your tank, you then install the reagents, and there are 3 reagents, one for alkalinity, one for calcium, and one for magnesium. And everything's color coded, makes it real simple. You get it back in there, close the drawer. It is a very tight fit. And then you select your new Apex in the app. From the list, there should only be one. It is going to automatically connect to it and continue with the setup process. You can see there it's waiting. There it is. It shows up on the screen. You select it with a simple tap. I think I tap here, right? Yeah, there we go. And then you tell it how much your waistline or waste container can hold, and then you tell it how many times a day you want it to do its tests. And then you pretty much are done. It's going to configure the Apex, and you are off and going. The last thing I did was moved it onto my main dashboard so I can see all my tests right when I launch the app each time, which makes it really convenient. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of the Trident so far. Is it perfect? No.
Can it maybe have some improvements done to it? And do I hope that they will make an updated version of the Trident? Absolutely. There are some things it doesn't do, such as testing for maybe phosphates and things like that. But outside of that, in the 3 or 4 months that I've had it, it has worked flawlessly. The numbers, I believe, have been consistent.
Yeah, about that. So I've been using the Trident for many months now. Just got around to making this video, and I have to tell you, the Trident is accurate, but then it starts to drift. And so what I've found is you need to calibrate it every now and then, not just when you change out the reagents. So that's just my personal observation, comparing it to my HANA checkers and my monthly ICP tests, is that it does start to drift, especially with alkalinity. So keep an eye on that. All right, back to the show.
I've tested them against other testing devices, and they've been pretty accurate. So outside of that, I've really enjoyed it. I know some people, have had problems with their Tridents. I haven't yet, so I'll knock on some wood here and, update you if anything does change regarding my opinion on the Trident. But as you can see, it makes life a lot easier. It's going to make your tank flourish because you don't have to guess what your nutrients are at any moment and what your nitrates, phosphates, or excuse me,
Magnesium,
calcium or alkalinity is, with alkalinity being one of the top ones for a SPS coral keeper like myself. So until next time, thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to like and follow and subscribe and recommend it to your friends. I'd really appreciate it. And if you have an idea for an upcoming episode, please feel free to reach out to me. Information's down below. Until then, make sure you test your water and keep that reef booming. I did boom, booming, booming. See how I did that? Boom, boom, boom. I think I went too many booms.